within 2 weeks of that first phone call, we're already meeting with Elon Musk himself about the project. And he walked us, he gave us 2 hours of his time, toured the facility. I think he had not even 1,000 employees. But we were at the at his formerly the headquarters in Hawthorne, California, and toured the facility. And they were building rockets, and we're like, okay, we get it, we see it, and then we captured his vision as far as what he wanted to do. And I can tell you, everything that's happening here today, he painted that vision back then.
What was that vision? What did he share back then?
Which,
by the way, let me put this into perspective. He was trying to sell SpaceX to you. Right? Like, here's Elon Musk, here's SpaceX. And so, well, this is what we do, and this is our plans.
Pretty much. I mean, to a certain extent, yeah. I mean, he's pitching the project because it was us and like 30 other cities in 4 different states. And the one thing that when we found out that, okay, I think we might have a shot, because we were a dark horse in this whole process, right? He said, Boca Chica Beach. And back then I was like, wow, somebody actually knows Boca Chica Beach outside of the Brownsville area, because nobody really knew what it was. And he said, I just find that area intriguing. So he had already been here. He had already flown around to kind of scope the area around. And now I'm like, okay, there's an opportunity there.
Because geographically speaking, it's perfect. I mean, our area has been considered before, right? I remember when Bill Summers, may he rest in peace, one of my friends and mentors, he went to Willacy County. They had some Willacy County, a little spaceport thing. They shot like a big rocket, like a little firework into space. Everybody got the bus tour out there. But for the longest time, we were told that NASA even had considered maybe setting up a launch facility here a long time ago.
You always scare me because I feel like you're looking at my notes. So yeah, this area was actually one of 8 sites that was being considered for what is now Cape Canaveral for NASA. That was back in the 50s. It was actually in the running for what it is now Disney World in Florida as well. So this area always kept popping up. I think the Navy was looking at it at some point in time. They were looking more at the port of Brownsville, but that whole area. So we've had some opportunities in the past, and now we're like, okay, there's something here. So we started assembling the pieces, and the one thing that really got this project from a dark horse to one of the top 3 locations was the actual launch site. So it's a private piece of property. Back then, they started with 50 acres. So I like to say it was like the donut hole in a donut. It's a little piece of private property in a state-owned beach that's surrounded by U.S. Fish and Wildlife and Texas Parks and Wildlife. So that created the perfect buffer zone for them to launch from. But they're not launching from a public property, which is the case. I think Puerto Rico is a former naval yard. Cape Canaveral in Florida, well, that's NASA, so that's federal property. And Georgia was a former military installment. So those were all government-owned properties. So that's what got us in the running. It's a private piece of property that he can control, or the company can control, but surrounded by public lands. And that's when we went, again, from dark horse to being one of the top 3 candidates. And as I say, the rest is history.
All the ingredients were there. Gilbert Salinas, he's the director of the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation, the economic development recruitment arm of Brownsville and the RGV. We're reviewing some of the amazing success stories over the past several years. Obviously, our neighbor, Elon Musk, is here. He's got I think 4,000 people on the payroll, probably hiring more. We got this amazing liquefied natural gas world distribution node that's being built with another 4,000 people out there likely to peak here pretty soon. We're reviewing our economy, the Rio Grande Valley economy. The engine of it is at the coast, Brownsville and the port of Brownsville. Let me bring in Nathan Burkhardt as he kind of scoots his way over here into the broadcast. The vision from Elon Musk back then. Was it any different then than it was now? What was he telling you? Because things are, Mars and the moon and all sorts of stuff.
The vision is the same.
Yeah.
I remember going in and sat, through his whole presentation, and then I remember he asked us, "Do you know why I'm doing this?" And our response was, "Well, yeah. I mean, you're sending stuff to space. There must be money in sending payloads into space, kind of like a UPS, right? But except you're going into outer space." Pushed back from the table and said, humanity can no longer sustain itself on this planet. So I'm going to colonize Mars.
That's our escape hatch.
And now, like, no, hombre, pues I'm going to get fired. How am I going to go back to Brownsville and package this project?
The world is coming to an end.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is going to save us. We're going to escape to Mars here pretty soon.
I mean, nobody was talking about Mars.
Yeah.
No, back then. Now today, it's not a matter of if but when. So the vision back then is, we're going to get to Mars. That is the mission of that company. It's pretty straightforward. And today, you see that vision, and it hasn't changed. They are going to get to Mars. And what's very exciting about it was back then, I mean, the odds were against us. And I mean, how can we pull this deal together? Just sending a rocket to space was, we would have been thrilled about that. But now, when he had the groundbreaking ceremony in 2014, he said the very first interplanetary mission could potentially happen from here. This was at Boca Chica Beach. And today, I mean, you see it. Those rockets are being constructed. The rockets that are destined for Mars, which the window's coming up here in a year and a half or 2 years, they're being manufactured here. And maybe they will be launched from here into Mars.
Gilbert Salinas, Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation, he and the gang, but more than a decade ago, were working on bringing SpaceX, and now look where we are. I don't know when we split the economic development entity, but we have an arm of it, and we're good with Nate, right, to bring him into the shot. Nathan Burkhart is with the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation, which is the second. And we need 2 arms, 2 hands for everything. So we've got one that's recruiting, and we got one that's making life better in South Texas. So tell me about BCIC. What you do, Nate?
BCIC is a Type B economic development organization, and we've got 2 key focuses: entrepreneurship and quality of life projects. So on the entrepreneurship end, we have our eBridge Center for Business and Commercialization. It's the largest startup incubator south of San Antonio, not just focused on Brownsville, but really helping out startups throughout the Rio Grande Valley. And then we have quality of life projects. So think of the Brownsville Sports Park, think of our downtown revitalization projects. Brownsville is the second most historic city in Texas, and we have a lot of historically contributing properties. And so we're trying to inspire this renaissance of downtown to bring it back to its former glory.
Oh, my goodness. We have a lot of historic properties and buildings, and the majority, I would say, are almost as beautiful or potentially as beautiful renovated as the HQ for Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. What can we do that in Brownsville in order to attract, I don't know, nightlife or tourism or bed and breakfast?
We've had a program called BIG, Brownsville Improvement and Growth Program. It's been around since 2019, and it's an incentive program. It's about a 50-50 match, although we actually got some funds from Elon Musk about back in 2021, where we had about an 80-20 match. But it essentially allows business owners that were already thinking about downtown, it just gets them to that area where the projects make a little bit more financial sense. It gets them in the black, so to say. These buildings are so old. We've got, clay pipes from the 1800s, electricity from the 20s. You've got to change all the wiring, change all the plumbing out. But the brick themselves, I mean, it's so historic. It was literally made with mud from the Rio Grande, right? And the historicity there with the architectural style of New Orleans mixed with a little bit of Mexican architecture as well make every building from here to Rio Grande City extremely unique.
Man, I am so glad you brought up the French Quarter, because I think there's potential to develop some. We may not have like San Antonio style, the Rio, but we can go French Quarter style, Matamoros style, Mexican style. Let me go back to the studio real quick and pay some bills. You're listening to a special edition of the Sergio Show on Newstalk 710 KURV. We're broadcasting from the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. Gilbert Salinas, he is the chief of recruitment efforts, the Brownsville Economic Development Arm. And the second part of our arm is developing and improving our city of Brownsville, which is the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation. Nathan Burkhart joining us as well. Let me go back to the studio, pay some bills. Thank you much for joining us on the Sergio Show, Newstalk 710 KURV, live from the GBIC office in downtown Brownsville. Stick around. We'll talk about the collaboration between these 2 arms of economic development. We have other guests joining us throughout the morning. We're focusing on the RGV economy and the amazing growth and prosperity that we see. This is News Talk 710 KURV. Sergio Show also broadcasting at Radio Para Mi. Download the free app.
Your Houston Astros visit the Detroit Tigers. Catch all the action tonight at 6, right after the 956 drive home. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women, Mission Economic Development Corporation, and News Talk 710 KURV.
Take advantage of the hot, dry weather as much as you can. Get them up there. Get the experts in commercial roofing systems up there and let them inspect. Like my friend Dale Johnson from Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. He and the team from Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing at your commercial site. Inspecting, see the weak points. They know all the different systems, all the different materials, and they know where the weak points would be. Go check that out. Get them to check that out. They know what to look for. That way you get a free, full report on the condition of your commercial roofing system, and you know how much time you have before you need to retrofit, maybe make a new investment, some repairs. And if you're about to build something, you definitely need to make that phone call to Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. I'm going to give you Dale Johnson's personal number. It's a free appointment-free conversation. Chamberlain, 125 plus years of experience, cutting-edge, leading technology in roof installation and repair, and advanced waterproofing solutions. It's what you need for your commercial site now and the future one. It's the one that's on the way. Call Dale Johnson. Again, free appointment, free inspection. Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing, 956-655-6178.
Tax day comes and goes. There's another one around the corner. But the IRS never sleeps. And the reason they wanted 90,000 more people was not to bring you flowers. It was to raise more money by auditing more. And what I understand from, I have a show sponsor and they're friends about him, known him for a long time. It's called TopTaxDefenders.com. And the group that they're going after the most is small business owners. And if you have 1099 employees, there are a couple of groups that are at a much higher risk of IRS review. And the IRS gets very aggressive in Q1. We're just coming out of that. This is the time they get extremely aggressive.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Para Mi app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Para Mi app. Download it now.
That was 925. The Sergio Show, News Talk 710 KURV from the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. That's Economic Development, the recruitment office for Brownsville. Gilbert Salinas joining us, and from the Community Improvement Corporation for Brownsville, the second portion of our economic development efforts for Brownsville. Nathan Burkhart. Nate, how's your time? I hope you can stick around a little bit after the bottom of the hour, because I want to flesh out this whole thing. You guys are wigging me out about this place being haunted. It's some guy, ghost named Johnny, haunting this place, and this property being one of the tour sites for haunted tours in October for Brownsville. But more on that in a little bit. So stick around after the hour. We'll dig that one up. How do you guys coordinate improving Brownsville, recruiting for Brownsville? You guys talking on a meeting on a weekly basis? How do you guys coordinate?
So usually, we meet on a monthly basis, if not more often. So what we do is we recruit the big companies, the big corporations, the ones that create the primary jobs. And by definition, those tend to be manufacturing. A company that manufactures something for export and brings fresh money into the community, that's a primary job. So that's us. Obviously SpaceX, the LNG plants, our recent announcement, Amazon, Linde, which is a tier 1 supplier to SpaceX, all these major corporations, they come in, they hire local people, they produce a product, manufacture a product for export. That's how you increase the GDP. Now, those companies pull in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 suppliers. So look at it kind of like a pyramid. We'll say a SpaceX is at the top, then you got the tier 1s, handful of tier 1s, and then you got the tier 2 supplying the tier 1s that supply the OEM, which is SpaceX. Then you have your tier 3 supplying the 2s, the 1s, so on and so forth. And then At the very bottom, you've got your suppliers, service providers, ancillary businesses, and small businesses, and your entrepreneurs. And that's where the BCIC comes into play. So they work with those businesses to kind of fill in the gaps that support the big picture, which are the bigger corporations. So that's the beauty of that. It's kind of like, those projects get handed off and they spur the local economy, they spur the small businesses. So we work with the big companies that ultimately put money into people's pockets. So the big companies are the ones that create the disposable income that people use to spend on Main Street USA, right? On your small businesses in the downtown area, which is where the BCIC comes into play.
So you got the downtown project, but also recently in conversations with you, Nathan Burkhart joining us from Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation, the improvement of Brownsville, also the filling in of the gaps. Maybe you can review some of the recent funding efforts, the startup efforts that are more specialized toward high-tech industry, whether it's Elon Musk or the port.
Yeah. So in that same vein, with the kind of entrepreneurs or business support services, with our eBridge Center, we've created a few bespoke programs for that, specifically our Startup Texas Accelerator, and most recently our Space Accelerator as well.
So real quick, eBridge Center. For working people driving around town. What is eBridge?
It is the largest startup incubator and entrepreneurial resource center of its kind in the Rio Grande Valley. 36,000 square feet in downtown Brownsville with a whole alphabet soup of wraparound services for your business.
Created by the city, the university?
The city of Brownsville, BCIC, GBIC, and UTRGV all combined.
And in what, 2-3 years? How long have we had?
2 years and 6 months, about 2.5 years, yeah.
So tell me about filling in the gaps, trying to get businesses over to Elon Musk or services or whatever we can do.
Whatever we can do. Yeah. So a perfect example is kind of finding those entrepreneurs, those that have really great potential, assisting them through either incubation or putting them through an accelerator program, or even if they just have an idea at the very beginning and then plugging them in along the way, and then getting them to a point where they can scale and potentially even get some assistance from GBIC. Perfect example is La Pale, right? They came in with our ideation program of just making frozen paletas. And then now they've already got a contract with HEB. They're on the shelves of HEB, and even looking at a potential co-packing agreement with HEB that would bring quite a few jobs and need quite a bit of space. And that's where we could hand them over to GBIC for that further assistance.
Capitalizing on downtown Brownsville, the program for that, maybe refurbish, recreate. What's the plan for it?
Revitalize. We really want to keep these buildings intact. They're extremely historical. We want a really friendly mixed-use environment. We've got some really great projects moving residential density into Brownsville already, but the entertainment sections, our market square is really historical and ensuring that we have really great restaurants and fine dining, but it's also family-friendly. We didn't want to go the route of, in Austin or certain other cities where it's the entertainment district is just very focused for that, 20-year-old college student. We have that mix. A 20-year-old college student or a family of 5 can still have a really great time in downtown.
If we could go French Quarter style, something, celebrate the historic nature of downtown, the beauty of the facades of the building. Like, how do we achieve something like that to bring life to downtown?
I feel if you walk around Market Square, we're getting to that point. We've got some really great restaurants and bars. The walkability is there as well. It's still somewhat of a patchwork, right? We're starting, you can see at the intersections are the ones that are changing first. But it's a slow and steady progress. COVID stalled a lot of projects like they did nationally. But we've bounced back and then some. We're really excited about some newer projects coming on board. And I think once we start filling in the gaps with residential density, downtown's going to continue to boom.
What is next on your calendar, Nathan? Either funding local companies, competitions for funding, startup efforts. What's next on the calendar?
In September 9th and 11th, actually, it just coincidentally worked out. We have a back-to-back demo day of our Startup Texas Emerging Industries program, as well as our SIBR and SDTR program that's in partnership with Texas A&M. Okay. And that is completely 100% funded by Texas A&M, which is really great.
And that program with A&M, what is that?
Small business innovation research, trying to assist businesses in getting research grants up to $250,000 for their prototypes or ventures here.
Both of your budgets expanding as the economy in Brownsville expands and we get more sales tax revenue into city coffers?
The way it works in economic development, we get 0.25% of a sales tax from that revenue. So for every dollar that's spent in the community, we get 0.25% of that sales tax. A quarter comes to us, and then a quarter goes to BCIC, devoted for us is strictly economic development, which is industry, bringing in the bigger companies. And theirs is for quality of life and the entrepreneurial side as well. And then the other half cent goes back to the city. So, the goal here is bring investment that's going to generate economic activity. In turn, that's going to fuel the sales tax revenue of the city, which is used to repair streets for emergency services and everything that goes into city government. It's pretty interesting model that we have that other states have used here in the past as well. And Texas have had it for about 30 years going strong now. One thing before I forget, coming back to what Nathan was saying about downtown, and there's a lot of activity. There's about a dozen restaurants and a few other like clubs in the downtown area. And we still have a ways to go, but we've come a long way. But it's interesting because these are restaurants that when you're in there, you're like, it's just got a different vibe to them, right? And you feel kind of like in Austin, maybe San Antonio or Dallas, but no, it's Brownsville, Texas. And I know that they're full or they usually have good business, but an indicator that we're using as far as, okay, we're having some success in the downtown area is that people are complaining about parking. That, well, I can't find parking. I'm like, what? You have to park 1 block away. You're complaining that you can't park, Exactly.
They're always fighting for the second or third park. And there they are.
And
click, they got the blinker. Click, click, waiting for it. Why don't you park like 5 spaces down? You could use a healthy walk.
I won't say that, but, walk is not bad for you. But we've started hearing people like, well, I can't find parking. I'm like, what do you mean? I don't know how thousands of parking spaces that don't want to walk. So now it's like, okay, there's activity in downtown. Yeah. So our efforts in bringing in the big industry, and there's some philanthropy there that's helping fuel some of these businesses in downtown. You can see how that system is really now working.
We have so much to talk about. That's Gilbert Salinas. He's the president of Economic Development Recruitment Efforts. It's the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. Nathan Burkhart is the lead, one of the leaders for the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation, and BCIC is working to make life better for us in Brownsville. And as we lure more industry and bring more people to work here, well, they need something to do with their kids as well. So we need to improve that as well. So how might we see improvements in the future for our city of Brownsville? What industries are we recruiting right now from the efforts of economic development? Our city of Brownsville is one of the top cities when it comes to affordable manufacturing. We'll review that as well. And Linde, right, is the name of the company that you mentioned. Linde. And that company might be providing some raw materials for our economic development efforts to lower high-tech industry, some of the chemicals they're producing. That and a lot more, including Johnny, right? The name of the ghost here at the building.
That's our ghost here in the building.
Yeah, he's going to be a superstar here in October as they restart the haunted tours in downtown Brownsville. And, of course, the name of the computer numerical control company, the automation specialist, the new employer coming to the area that we teased earlier this morning. That's next on the Sergio Show, News Talk 710 KURV, coming to you online, X Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, all that stuff, the platforms, of course, Radio Para Mi for the radio as well. Keep it tuned to 710 KURV. Thank you to our supporter this hour. Thank you to Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. The news is next.
Hey, amigos, when's the last?
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Para Mi app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Para Mi app. Download it now.
Saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium is $0 and my out-of-pocket costs are low. Who should apply? Single people making less than $24,000 a year or married couples who make less than $32,000. Even if you don't think you qualify, it pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extrahelp. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Digging without contacting Texas 811 first could cost more than you think. Texas 811 is a free service that helps you avoid damaging underground utilities like electric or gas lines. Every year, accidents happen because someone didn't take a moment to contact 811. Whether installing a fence or working on a construction site, contacting Texas 811 is the law. It's quick, free, and keeps you safe. Visit texas811.org today for more information. Safe digging starts with one simple step. Make it today.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-444-2013, 800-444-2013, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-444-2013.
If you're about to replace your roof, stop. There's a solution about 80% less expensive. 9 out of 10 roofs can be saved by RoofMax. Guaranteed to extend the life of your current roof by 5 to 15 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. RoofMax's deep penetrating power restores...
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
Delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel, Payday is one hard-working candy bar, so grab one now to power through your day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar. Get to it.
This check of news, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
Including an MS-13 gang member and 9 firearms taken off the streets. So far, 465 arrests, 68 guns seized and charged for homicide, narcotics, and firearm offenses. The sale of the Boston Celtics finalized today. Private equity mogul Bill Chisholm takes over. The price tag, more than $6 billion. America's listening to Fox News.
Your 710 KURV AccuWeather forecast. This afternoon, mostly sunny, highs in the upper 90s to almost 105. Clear tonight, the low 77. Mostly sunny, an afternoon thunderstorm in spots Wednesday, the high 98. Mostly sunny, an afternoon thunderstorm in spots Thursday, too, the high of 100. Friday, sun mixing with clouds and a stray thunderstorm, highs in the mid and upper 90s. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV.
The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez. Rapid fire headlines.
They're back to work in Austin at the Texas House. The Democrats are back, and in a surprise move, House Republicans, they rolled out some amended congressional maps and passed them out of committee in a
There
hurry.
being 12 ayes, 8 nays, and 0 present not voting, the motion prevails.
The new maps were filed by State Rep Todd Hunter.
The proposed changes to HB 4 affect the following congressional districts: 2, 6, 7.
12 total districts changed from the original House map and the map the Texas Senate just passed out of committee.
The intent of the changes was to increase Republican political performance in existing Republican districts.
It was not a surprise that House Democratic Caucus Chair Gene Wu took issue with the new maps.
These maps have been altered. The public has not had time to view them, much less have testimony.
The House could vote on the maps as soon as Wednesday. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
According to state health officials, that measles outbreak that started in West Texas, the Mennonite community, they don't vaccinate their kids. They had measles all over the place. Well, it's over now, 40 plus days. Not a single case has been reported. The measles outbreak is over. And one of the state's largest employers, it was a rough start to summer employment for them.
New numbers show the state's oil and gas industry shed 1,400 jobs in July alone. Todd Staples, who heads the Texas Oil and Gas Association, says there's a glut of oil on the market right now, bringing prices down.
When you have other countries increasing supply, it can impact industry growth plans.
But he's optimistic that under President Trump, global market conditions will strengthen. He points to parts of the president's One Big Beautiful Bill that will reduce cost for drillers and refiners.
Todd Staples. I can always recognize his voice. That Todd Staples. And KFC is bringing back 2 discontinued menu
The fast food chain announced that it's bringing back its potato wedges as well as its hot and spicy wings nationwide after obsessive demand from fans. The popular potato wedges were discontinued and replaced by secret recipe fries in 2020, while the hot and spicy wings will return after a nearly 2-year hiatus. According to the company, both are being offered while supplies last, and it comes as KFC rolls out several other promotions in time for back to school and the upcoming fall football season. I'm Matt Mattinson.
I was telling producer Freddie yesterday what I missed from KFC. Kentucky Fried Chicken, by the way. I missed the name, number one. Just call it, right? It's Kentucky Fried Chicken, man. Just be proud of it. They used to have this little pudding thing with some graham cracker at the bottom, right? It had the whipped cream and the little chocolate sprinkles on top. It's like, why'd you get rid of that? Anyway, they need to bring that back. Nothing says back to school like bringing that back instead of the potato wedges. We're broadcasting from the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation HQ, downtown Brownsville. Gorgeous building. My goodness, there's so much history in downtown Brownsville. And they've done an amazing job in improving this facility. How long has G-Big been at this building?
About 7 years now,
Okay.
7 or 8 years. It's actually owned by the city. And prior to that, it was owned by the university, then University of Texas at Brownsville.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, they've restored the place. It's 4 stories, including a basement, which is kind of rare here in the Brownsville area because of the water table. And it was built in the early 1900s. And from what I can gather, we did have actually this older gentleman. He was like in his late 90s. I believe he was a World War II veteran. Came in and a walker with 2 ladies helping him. And he said he wanted to come in to see the house because he used to live here. And he grew up here. And he told us a little bit about the house. And he said this house was built by cattle money. It was a big cattle ranching family at the time. And proceeded to tell us some other stories. But great place. It shows well with prospects. And one thing that people don't realize is that this place is, there's no such thing as a little haunted. It's haunted, right? We call our ghost
Like
Johnny.
in the middle of the broadcast, like one of those trophies might come flying across the table or something like that. We'll see like a poltergeist.
Every now and then you'll see some papers flying, but more than anything, just sounds, voices. Johnny's gotten pretty good. He mimics voices now, from the staff here, but we've gotten used to it.
My goodness.
He helps with economic development.
I claim the blood of Jesus. Please protect all of us right now. Gilbert Salinas, he's the director of recruitment efforts for Brownsville, the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. We're joined by Nathan Burkhart. He's with the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation. So let's get back to business. We've talked about the ghost Johnny and everything that's here. How might we see improvements to life and things to do with the family over the next 5 to 10 years? What do you see happening in Brownsville, Nathan?
5 to 10 years, I think we're going to see an expansion effort on our quality of life projects, as well as allowing either recent or current college graduates to pursue their ventures here locally. Far too long, I used to joke that aside from cotton or citrus, one of the main exports of the valley was our youth, right? Our best and brightest would have to leave to seek opportunity. But that's no longer the case. You've got an OEM like SpaceX here. You've got a regional research university here. And now you also have something like eBridge, where it's a wraparound services of incubation services that mimic that of Velocity in San Antonio or the ION in Houston, right here in the Rio Grande Valley. So kind of the opportunities set aside, quality of life projects. I think we're going to see an expanded amount of trail systems. We're going to see better parks.
Okay.
BCIC's partnered with the city of Brownsville in supplying funding upwards of $3.5 to $4 million a year, specifically towards parks master plan projects as well as downtown revitalization projects.
Destination sites. Well, Elon Musk is working on his own destination site, with retail and restaurants and what do they call it, like a Tesla cafe or something like that, right?
That's a Tesla diner. So that they have one in the LA area, and this will be the second one that's getting built. And it's from what I can gather, it's 1950s retro, kind of like a Jetsons feel to it.
Okay.
And it's going to be open to the public. In addition to that, they're also going to have retail outlets and everything else.
And you will not be excluded if you don't drive a Tesla. It's not exclusive for Tesla vehicle owners, right?
I don't want to speak on their behalf, but I don't think so.
I wouldn't imagine, yeah.
So a lot of great things happening on the quality of life side, on the retail side, and it's kind of Brownsville's turn now to get some of these name brand businesses, eateries, and a lot of our local ones that are really developing great restaurants with a local flair.
How much exchange do you see now between Hidalgo County and Cameron County on a day-to-day commute? Because with the thousands of jobs at the port, and I hear from educators in Edinburgh, Dr. Salinas at Edinburgh and other folks, it's like there's a daily commute from Hidalgo County to the port, just the port by itself. I can't imagine SpaceX doing the same thing as well. So at some point we reach a number where just by default, we become one metropolitan statistical area because everybody works over here and they go back to sleep over there. And that's what it takes is the commute, a certain number of commute between both counties. So do you have any idea where we are right now?
We don't have a number. I know that we're tracking that. We don't have a definite number, but just a unscientific survey, if I could use that term, is now the flow of traffic. Before the flow of traffic, you'd see a lot of cars coming in, like at 5 o'clock, a lot of cars coming into Brownsville from people that worked outside. Let's just say they worked in the Upper Valley, but they were driving from here. Now it's the reverse, the total reverse. You see a lot of cars here in the area. I mean, our daily traffic has increased. I would say 3, 4, maybe even 5-fold. And it has to do a lot with SpaceX and the LNG plants and the companies that are following suit. I mean, SpaceX is at about 4,200 employees right now, and they're not stopping growing. I mean, they were like at 3,500 employees at the beginning of the year. The LNG plants, the first one that's being constructed right now, they're at 4,000 plus, and they're going to peak at about 6,000 employees next year. And that's one of two. The other one is starting to move dirt.
Yeah,
that one's also going to be 4,000 or 5,000 employees. So we're seeing it. As far as the housing, the rents, across the board, the restaurants. It's the Lower Valley is seeing a huge influx of traffic and money coming in from other parts.
The second LNG, they're moving dirt. Did I miss the FID on that one, the final investment decision? Because I know they were lining up customers. They had almost reached the full slate of what they wanted, who they wanted to sell to. Have they made?
Yeah, I'm not too sure where they're at yet, but the fact that they're already moving dirt, which they could do before.
Somebody's paying for all those Caterpillar units to be moving dirt.
So they're close. They're close. And that one, if it goes as scheduled, then I anticipate by next year we start seeing some stuff out there.
I may not have the final investment decision news, breaking news thing for it, but we got the final investment decision to move some dirt. That's what they're doing over there, building that second LNG. Yeah. Gilbert Salinas, Director of Recruitment Efforts for Economic Development, Brownsville. Nathan Burkhart, one of the leaders working to improve quality of life with the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation. Okay, let's get to this computer numerical control automation specialist company. The name of it, the amount of money they're investing, and might it be the first in like a domino of other similar CNC companies coming down here.
So again, going back to what SpaceX did, it helped open the doors for a whole different array of companies for us, and we're seeing it now. I mean, we've had this year already 4 announcements, but Amazon coming in, and that's already Amazon is bringing in tech and AI, so that's already going to add to our space and our energy sectors. You've got Linde, which is a tier 1 supplier for SpaceX, and in addition, they also supply hospitals and other sectors in the area. And now you've got a Superior HGQ, which is a company that specializes in producing components for other manufacturers, for all the manufacturers here in the Rio Grande Valley, as well as northern Mexico. It's a CNC machining operation, metal fabrication as well. It's about $4 to $5 million in capital investment. We'll be creating about 40 jobs over the next few years, but these are high-value jobs. And again, anytime we say CNC machining, that is a very high skill set. And one of the reasons that they chose the Brownsville area is because of the skill set that we have here, because of everything that's going on with the different companies coming in and having either creating an opportunity and or a need for CNC machinists. So in economic development and industry, whenever you hear the word CNC machining, that means you're dealing with very forward-thinking companies. So today, actually, we're making that announcement, which is Superior HGQ, company out of the Midwest. Yet again, another great win for the Brownsville area. Brand new company that is already breaking ground at the North Brownsville Industrial Park.
Superior HGQ,
correct,
is the name of the company. CNC. These are folks specialists in this machining skill set. Might we see some of this curriculum over the Texas A&M Training Center or at a local college or TSTC in order to put people on the path to work?
So, yes, to all of the above. The beauty of this area, and when I say this area is the Rio Grande Valley, when it comes to training, I mean, we've got some of the best training institutions that would rival a San Antonio, a Dallas, or even an Austin area, Houston. I mean, you just mentioned Texas A&M. They're at the Port of Brownsville. You've got
UTRGV, the advanced manufacturing thing. Does this fit into what they're trying to do?
Dovetails nicely into what Linde is doing and additive manufacturing. So you've got UTRGV, which is really going above and beyond as far as developing their engineering program to provide opportunities for these companies that are coming in. You got TSTC in Harlingen, Texas Southmost College here in Brownsville, STC in the McAllen area. Texas A&M also has a presence in the McAllen area. And then you've got Workforce Solutions, both in Cameron County, Hidalgo County, and then a string of smaller training centers. So when it comes to training, workforce training at different skill sets, different levels, we've got some great institutions, and all of them are doing a fantastic job of bending backwards for the client.
And don't forget the school districts with the career and technology programs.
And it starts with the STEMS programs in the school districts, which are within our organization. We have a person who does community outreach and is specifically focusing on the STEMS kids in our local high schools. So across the board, I mean, we've done a fantastic job over the years of developing that pipeline of talent. And it goes back, SpaceX, more than 70% of the people that work there are local. And when we say local, their definition is within a 100-mile radius, which is from here to the other side of McAllen. LNG plants, same thing. These new companies, the Amazons, the Lindes, and this new company, Superior, same thing. They said their focus is hire local as much as possible. And what we like to say it's our homegrown talent. And these companies are doing phenomenal in doing that.
Stick around. The Sergio Show, we continue hour 2, and I want to say thank you to Nathan Burkhardt from Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation. Will you be leading a tour to the haunted tour here in October here at GBIC? We need to talk a bit more about the ghost at this office.
And I haven't even mentioned the black cat that's been hanging around.
Okay. That is one destination event, like in October, right? if all these buildings are so haunted, well, why not, right?
Yeah.
Capitalize on that. That's a big market. Thank you, Nathan, for joining us today. Call anytime, brother. I know you got a calendar full of events in the near future. That's Nathan Burkhardt with the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation, Gilbert Salinas with the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation, Linda.
Yeah.
The chemical that they're producing that hopefully will help Gilbert and crew to bring in some high tech. So we'll talk about that next hour. The Sergio Show on Newstalk 710 KURV made possible this hour by Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. This is KURV Edinburgh. It's coming up on 10 o'clock.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on Newstalk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and Newstalk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
This is extremely disturbing. The CEO of Allstate was paid $26 million in a single year while directing his company to make sure customers who lost everything don't get paid. That's what the report said. You know, if you're an insurance company, you collect premiums, and the more you pay out, the less you make. The less you pay out, the more you make. So you paid your premiums. Now you've got hurricane, windstorm, hail, fire and smoke, water damage, and you deserve to be made whole. Chad T. Wilson Law Firm. Go to claimdenied.com. These folks will fight for you. It's what they do all day. Claimdenied.com. 713-222-6000. 713-222-6000. Claimdenied.com.
Hi, I'm Andrew McCollum, CEO of Philo, the streaming TV company that's proud to be different. At Philo, we put the audience first. It sounds simple, but how often are you frustrated just trying to watch TV? I run a streaming company, and even I can't figure it out. From hidden fees to impossible to break contracts to dozens of confusing apps, TV has gotten way too hard. So we set out.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on Newstalk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and Newstalk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
To philo.tv/Andrew to start a free trial and see for yourself. That's philo.tv/Andrew.
He says maybe this is how he can get into heaven one day. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
If I can save 7,000 people a week from being killed.
President Trump on Fox and Friends on his push to stop the war in Ukraine, trying to broker direct talks between Presidents Putin and Zelensky.
If it works out, then I'll go to the trilat and close it up.
Hoping to join both leaders signing a peace agreement that would be backed by a security guarantee involving European countries.
When it comes to security, they're willing to put people on the ground. We're willing to help them with things, especially probably if you talk about by air, because nobody has the kind of stuff we have.
Attorney General Pam Bondi announced in a post on X this morning another 52 arrests in the Trump crackdown on Washington, D.C. crime. So in total, Fox's David Spunt reports.
More than 465 people have been arrested, over 65 guns, illegal guns taken off the street. Mayor Muriel Bowser, who says she's working with Bondi on all of this, was quick to point out this is not a takeover in her mind.
There is no takeover. What there is a surge in federal law enforcement.
And the mayor says D.C. police remain under city command and violent crime is down this year and last. Republicans in the Texas legislature could vote as soon as tomorrow to approve the congressional redistricting the Democrats blocked for 2 weeks, leaving the state. But they've returned satisfied that California is ready to counter the Texas plan that would give Republicans 5 more House seats in next year's elections. And now to Fox's Claudia Cowan in Sacramento.
With a Democratic supermajority here at the Capitol, Republicans cannot stop
stop the package. But on the Senate side, they forced hours of debate last night to try to delay final passage of the measure that includes a temporary map and a special election aimed at flipping 5 Republican House seats.
Now, Republicans threaten lawsuits to block California Democrats whose plan would circumvent a citizen redistricting commission. On Wall Street, a new record high for the Dow. It's currently up 90 points, but the NASDAQ is down 250. America's listening to Fox News.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZQL Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Well, then after former Attorney General Bill Barr.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
Today's deadline set by the committee after receiving a subpoena to produce documents related to the case involving Jeffrey Epstein and his associate Ghislaine Maxwell. Comer says it will take the department time to produce all the records and ensure the identification of victims and any child sexual abuse material are redacted. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
A partial victory for the Trump administration on a controversial illegal immigration detention center.
The ACLU federal lawsuit over the Trump administration's use of Florida's Alligator Alcatraz holding facility in the Everglades is now partially dismissed. A federal judge in Miami says the complaint over detained migrants not having access to immigration courts is now moot, as the administration is now holding immigration proceedings in a nearby location. The remainder of the ACLU's complaint that detained persons have limited access to lawyers is allowed to proceed, but the case is now ordered out of the Southern District of Florida to the Middle District, as Alligator Alley geographically is located there. In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
Hurricane Aaron has just weakened a bit in the new update out. It's still a Category 2 storm, and even though it's forecast to move away from the U.S., it's a big storm, and so parts of it could affect the coast. Storm surge and tropical storm warnings issued for the North Carolina Outer Banks. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Your 710 KURV AccuWeather forecast. This afternoon, mostly sunny, highs in the upper 90s to almost 105. Clear tonight, the low 77. Mostly sunny, an afternoon thunderstorm in spots Wednesday, the high 98. Mostly sunny, an afternoon thunderstorm in spots Thursday, too, the high of 100. Friday, sun mixing with clouds and a straight thunderstorm, highs in the mid and upper 90s. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, president of Leaf Filter, gets a lot of interesting calls to his office when folks are ready to tackle their gutters.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh.
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a leaf filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-444-2013. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-444-2013. That's 800-444-2013 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-444-2013. 800-444-2013.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV. From the Radio United Broadcast Center, this is the Sergio Show. Talking about the news headlines and topics that affect you. And now, the Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez.
The pulse of Valley Business, News Talk 710 KURV. And today it's an honor for us to broadcast with family Brownsville. It's the lead engine of the economic transformation of the RGV, or city of Brownsville, the port of Brownsville, and all the assets that we have on the ground. Amazing times, prosperity that we live in. And we're reviewing some of that with our Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. We want to thank them for hosting us here on this special broadcast. I hope it's the first of several we can do on a quarterly basis, because it's coming at us. We got more industry on the way. I'm Sergio Sanchez. Want to say thank you to South Texas Buick GMC, but say thank you as well to Lone Star National Bank for providing us this hour of the program. And Gilbert Salinas is the director of the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. We have conversations coming up with our chamber. Esme should be joining us here in a little bit. And Giovanna Raquel, we've spoken with her before. She's taking a look and managing all these projects related to SpaceX and also energy projects in the area, which I wanted to talk a bit more about that, because that's one of the main ingredients when it comes to being able to recruit. You know, you got land, you got educational institutions, infrastructure, highways, you got water, people. Oh, we got plenty of people as well, but we could use, I suspect we could use some juice, more electricity generation to host some new industry. Gilbert Salinas, director of the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. Again, thank you for having us here with you today, my brother. Let's start with the Port of Brownsville and a little bit of a lot of what's taking place at the port. Liquefied natural gas, number one. How many employees do they have right now?
So the first one that's under construction, and it's interesting, you drive out there, I think I stopped counting at about 30 cranes. And these are the huge cranes you see building skyscrapers in major cities. They're all out there. That must not be cheap. So they're at about 4,000 plus employees right now. They expect to hit almost 6,000 employees, which will be their peak next year. And that's one LNG plant. The other one, they're starting to move dirt. So that's an indicator that probably sometime next year they'll be breaking ground. And that's another 4,000 or 5,000. It's a little smaller, but just by a few thousand employees. And then you've got Forza Steel out there, which is building their facility. That's a metal fabrication outfit. But again, that's about 300,000 square feet of space, which is not small. And that's another 300 to 400 employees that they'll be hiring out there. And let's not forget Seatrim, which is formerly known as Keppel Landfills. They're building ships out there. They build the ships. Metal comes in on one end, and out the other end comes out ships or offshore oil rigs, and they've got activity out there. On any given moment, it could be at anywhere from 1,000 employees to 3,000-4,000 employees in the past. It just depends on their workload. And then you got 4 ship dismantlers, which those are the ones that get the aircraft carriers that have gotten decommissioned, and they dismantle them, they cut them up, and that steel goes into the foundries in the Monterrey area, and then they come back for as soft steel or different lines of steel that go into consumer products for the United States. So it's a whole ecosystem. The Port of Brownsville, it's thousands and thousands of people that are working there, and it's just a beehive of activity.
And that lead project, that LNG plant that's being built right now, also branching off into investment. They invested into the deepening of the port, where we're going to be able to host like big fat ships here, and Lord knows what type of tenant might be setting up shop at the Port of Brownsville. And we got space for them, plenty of space.
The space is there, and I was out fishing a few weeks ago, and my buddy's a boat, and the depth finder or the fish finder, it tracked at just under 55 feet. It was like 54.8 feet deep in one part of the ship channel. That's deep. We're now that where the ports of Miami and the ports of New York are at, the ports of LA, Long Beach. So that'll bring in the bigger ships, the post-Panamax vessels, the big boys, as they say, right? And that's being done. This company, the LNG plants, they came in and they were able to fund a huge portion of the deepening of the channel. And they need it, but that's going to open up a whole other sector of companies that will follow suit to come into the port that need that depth. So it's a very exciting time for the Port of Brownsville and just in general the Brownsville area.
How do you coordinate with the navigation district, the leadership for the Port of Brownsville? Take in calls, maybe respond to calls, go out and recruit maybe new tenants at the port. Say, hey, look, we got a very deep port now. It will be ready by 2-3 years or something. We'd like for you to set up shop. We'll help you out, find those offboarding cranes. Maybe get some container traffic out here. What can we do?
So it's a combination of the two. I mean, they get a lot of calls. We get a lot of calls. They get inquiries as well. We get leads from the governor's office. And whether we get it or they get them, we collaborate on trying to recruit some of these companies because at the end of the day, we both we're there to help them, to support them grow. The Port of Brownsville, it's its own entity. But since the beginning of time, we've worked with them since day one in helping both recruit companies to the area and foster the growth of their local companies as well. And that could be from anywhere from incentives, helping with certain state or federal permits, and workforce. One of the bigger components is us coming in to help with developing their workforce. And then the recruitment side too. We've collaborated with them in the past in recruitment missions. We've been like, for instance, we'll be in Monterrey a lot, helping, knocking on doors and recruiting companies, both for the Port of Brownsville and vice versa. They help us recruit for Brownsville as well. So that relationship, great relationship since the very beginning. And, going back to the LNG plants, it was interesting. 2011, we started working SpaceX. Then 2012, we get not one, but 3 LNG plants knocking on our doors. And we started working with the port back then, and look at it now. I mean, it's just lots of activity, and that's, I like to say, big fish draws other big fish. As a result of those companies, it's helping draw other companies to the Port of Brownsville as well. So, again, it's a great relationship, and we're now looking to take it to a whole different level because of the quality of projects that we're seeing today.
Gilbert Salinas is the Director of Recruitment Efforts for the Economic Development Arm of the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. How much coordination is taking place with Harlingen, close by, McAllen, Edinburgh, Mission, close by? It's just one market. Are there conversations and maybe working with Brownsville to help bring more industry here? Because the runoff goes all the way west to Stark County as far as economic benefits, jobs and investment and new companies that support services over here. So is there coordination in the Valley for that?
So there's a couple of groups. Really, there's 3 regional groups that are helping pull everybody together. That's a partnership, the Rio Grande Valley Partnership, CoStep, and then the Rioplex as of late. So they've helped bring everybody to the table to make sure that we're, at the very least, we're sharing information. Because then years past, it kind of happened, but we're seeing it more so today. And like we said earlier today in your show, it's people now. People don't stop at the county line. As far as for jobs, I mean, they cross county lines. They go through city limits to get for a job, and that's where we're at right now. And we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a lot of people from the Upper Valley driving for good paying jobs here in the Brownsville area.
Man, I recall with Bill Summers, 25 plus years ago, say, boy, he took me under his arm. Let me show you how things work. The big push back then was one MSA. We need to be one metropolitan statistical area. We need to combine the resources of Cameron County, Hidalgo County, the population numbers, the income numbers, everything, so we can better sell the RGV. Man, with CoStep and Rioplex, Mr. Spommer and all the team out there, with the Valley Partnership, the way we are,
And I'll take it a step further. Now it's one university, UTRGV, and then you look at the MPO. I mean, those two merged.
See, that's
the Lower Valley, Upper Valley, one MPO.
The Metropolitan Planning Organization. Again, don't want to throw acronyms out there, but for working people, we are now top 5 in the state when it comes to determining whether state money is going to come for roadways. Do we even need to be a one MSA? Would it help us in any way? Yeah,
absolutely. It'll get us higher up on that list of MSAs, and that's the name of the game. How high can you get on that list? So,
where are we? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but McAllen area, Brownsville area,
we're right around the 100 mark, something like that.
Because we're split.
Yeah, because we're split.
If we fuse into one metropolitan, we're what?
We get into the top 30. Yeah. I think the last I saw, we would be somewhere like what the Pittsburgh MSA is at. Something like that.
How big then is that ranking when it comes to site selectors to say, hey, look at that. It's McAllen, Brownsville. Yeah, that's South Texas. That's where Elon Musk is at.
Well, we call it Brownsville McAllen, but
I got it.
We'll figure that one out.
I got it. No, I got it.
So
I got it.
It's site selectors will see it. Okay, this is an area that draws from the entire region, kind of like what SpaceX does, right? Yeah. Or these larger corporations. They pull from 100-mile radius. So site selectors like to see that, right? That it's one big MSA. And then for funding, federal funding, that puts you up there for higher dollars, more money coming into the area, both state and federal funding, because you're a larger MSA.
Okay.
So, I mean, we're all for that. We see it. We get it. And actually, we need that.
The MSA would be, it says the top 3 cities in a region, right? So it'd be Brownsville, obviously, is the largest city. McAllen, second largest city. And I don't know, man, it's like Mission and Edinburgh. They're like
one of those
duking it out for, the number 3 position. Yeah. McAllen might be twice as big when it comes to the retail market, retail activity. But I've been telling everybody in the business office, you watch the next decade, Brownsville, I'm convinced Brownsville will surpass McAllen in retail activity. That's just me. Sorry, McAllen. But the way things are growing, it is impossible for Brownsville not to. We have thousands of workers at the port right now. Elon Musk, what he's doing with thousands of, and those are permanent jobs, by the way. The port jobs for constructing the LNG might be somewhat temporary. We'll have several thousand permanent jobs. But Elon Musk, what he's doing, and the way the port is increasing, more tenants coming to the port, the engine of the valley, thousands of homes that are being built in Brownsville, more stores on the way. I give it easily a decade. The retail sales activity, I think, is going to surpass McAllen.
The retail sales, that
in a decade.
I mean, McAllen has a crown, and they have a pipeline to Monterrey. So you have a lot of shoppers from the Monterrey area, and then the Upper Valley, Hidalgo County just has more critical mass than Cameron County.
Yeah, the population.
So,
is big. Yeah.
In McAllen, the McAllen area does a retail very, very well. Over here on this end of the valley, it's for the last decade or so, it's all about industry. But as we explained, a little while ago, industry is what puts money into people's pockets, and in turn, that creates a demand for all of these commercial and retail sector to really grow. So yes, we are going to see that. Maybe not in 10 years, but definitely in the next 20 years. But it might be sooner than that. It's the quality, the amount of jobs and the quality of jobs that are coming in. I mean,
It's amazing.
There's just a vibe here in town. You feel it, that this place is just on the cusp of greatness.
Well, I say 10 plus. Gilbert says closer to 20. Brownsville surpassing McAllen as far as a retail destination point for the area. We'll come back 10 years from now for the broadcast to see where we are. That's Gilbert.
I would love for you to call me 10 years from now.
Where might we be?
Exactly.
In 10 years. We'll have an AI version of me and an AI version of Gilbert talking to each other about everything that's happened, hiring the humanoids to go work at the port. Yeah. We're at the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation office, the HQ, Brownsville, Texas. Gilbert Salinas is our guest. Let's go pay some bills. The Sergio Show on Newstalk 710 KURV, made possible this hour by South Texas Buick GMC. Big thank you as well to Lone Star National Bank.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on Newstalk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and Newstalk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
Treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in McAllen at 956-803-0058 and Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
It's the Back to Drive celebration at South Texas Buick GMC. Drive off in a 2025 GMC Sierra for just $259 a month. Or get behind the wheel of a 2025 Buick Encore GX for just $245 a month. GMC, we are professional grade, space, technology, and style. Visit SouthTexasGMC.com or call us at 956-661-5000. Take the Sherry Road exit between McAllen and Mission. South Texas Buick GMC. Not the biggest, just the best.
Our mom accomplished so much in her life. She was a great mother, wife, and school teacher. She amazed so many. When we lost her, we were so very sad, but comforted that she had pre-planned her funeral with the fine people at McCaleb Funeral Home. A live celebration would tell her big story.
Hi, I am Carla McCaleb. Along with my husband Mark and our caring staff, we know we are in the healing business because we hear it from families we serve. Please read our reviews about our life celebrations and fair and transparent prices for unmatched service and how we lift people up with our healing care and compassion. Celebrating life since 1963.
The Valley's only life celebration home. To learn more about the choices you can make now so a future funeral becomes more of a celebration of life, call Carla at 956-650-2841, 956-650-2841, or visit their website, McCalebFuneralHome.com. Do you care for a family loved one over the age of 60, suffering from chronic or debilitating illness such as Alzheimer's disease? Are you overwhelmed? Do you have difficulty managing your emotions or balancing your life? Caregiver SOS by the WellMed Charitable Foundation can help. We offer the resources you need to take care of your loved one and yourself. Our services include one-to-one caregiving coaching, educational resources, support groups, and a life-changing program to help manage your stress. You are not alone. We can help you. Our programs are free, bilingual, and across the Rio Grande Valley. To find out more, contact us at 956-406-6302. That's 956-406-6302. Or visit our website at www.caregiversos.org. Caregiver SOS, helping family caregivers continue caring and living well. Programs partially funded by the Area Agency on Aging of the LRGV DC.
The Rio Grande Valley's news, weather, and talk station. News Talk 710 KURV and KURV.com.
News Talk 710 KURV.
Yeah, no la chifles. Time is 10:26. The Sergio Show, the Sergio Show, News Talk 710 KURV. Also broadcasting at Radio Para Mi, Radio Para Mi, Radio Para Mi. Download the free app and join us on your smart device. We're also doing the 710K URV, multiple platforms, YouTube Live, X Live, Facebook Live, all that stuff. Join us on those platforms as well. We're celebrating the economic prosperity that we have, seriously, we've never seen ever in the RGV, and real world money. More than just block grants, man. We got some real world investment, 18 billion plus from one LNG source. We got billions of dollars more, which I hope to review with Gilbert Salinas here before the end of the broadcast, because there's a lot more on the way. One of the leaders of our area that is working with business and leadership and working hard, advocating for our city of Brownsville, is Esme Villarreal, the director of the Brownsville Chamber of Commerce. Esme, I'm so glad you made it to the broadcast.
Buenos días.
You said something before the broadcast that I said, listen, when we are, as far as Brownsville, we are living our best life. That's a rewarding. Living our best life. We've never seen days like this of prosperity. So what does that do for your work schedule and advocating for the area, working with business, trying to create those opportunities for local business?
Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation to partake in today's series. And yes, I think Brownsville is at the best we've ever been. And I say that with the utmost respect. Simply, there's so much opportunity. There's so much evolution. There's so much collaboration in place. We've seen the community come together, of course, through different visions and different realms of leaders throughout, not just commission-based, but also the nonprofit world, the EDCs. Brownsville, Texas is thriving. And there is no turning back. Brownsville, Texas is a place where not only do you come to have fun, but you come and live, relocate. You bring your business to Brownsville, Texas, and we'll take care of the rest. We have an outstanding community leadership that has really evolved how we're moving forward. And I say this because as we come together and we communicate with businesses, you start hearing about the vision that they have of how they want to grow. We've seen a change in industry of how new industry has come to Brownsville, Texas, and continues to want to be in Brownsville, Texas. No secret that SpaceX, the LNGs, and all the great work through both EDCs that we have, our partners here at GBIC, now being number 2, right, in the whole United States, have really changed how we're moving forward.
Number 2 in affordability for manufacturing. I think we probably should flesh that one out as well. Gilbert Salinas joining us from Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. How much, earlier with Nathan and the gang at BCIC, how much coordination is there on a regular basis to make sure that we put our best foot forward as a city?
Well, absolutely. In fact, I think it's important to share that, people don't want to talk about COVID, but we have to talk about what happened during COVID. I think COVID was really what elevated collaboration. COVID really allowed us to come together and work and remove barriers, if any, that were present. I also believe that COVID, through its hardships, brought a lot of great opportunity. I feel that COVID allowed us to really come and shape a one city through a one vision and through different, of course, initiatives and programs of work, because we all have a very aggressive program of work through our different organizations. But at the end of the day, I think that at this point, through BCIC, GBIC, the City of Brownsville, and so many other entities, they are doing the best they can with what they have.
Some of the conversations I had with you, and yes, we talked a bit more during COVID than we've talked recently, but I know that, man, you were in fight mode back then to make sure that people got proper training and seminars and resources to stay in business, right? You were trying to address all the needs that were created.
Absolutely. In fact, then we spoke about an opportunity that we had with our partners here at GBIC, in which they granted us a grant, funding to hire people that were left without jobs. We were able to have an actual call center for small businesses. We were able to assist over 13,000 businesses, conducted over 8,000 calls. We were able to assimilate information, help, and not just partner with GBIC, with BCIC, TSC, UTRGB, I mean, everyone, city of Brownsville, we came together and really told the story for businesses, assisting them through real people, talking to them day in, day out, save businesses from closing their business. It was personally, I'll be celebrating my 10th anniversary at this organization as president and CEO in the next 45 days, God willing. But with that said, as I really gather my thoughts about the evolution of not just the chamber itself, but the city, we've really seen how businesses have thrived. And we use the word resilient often, but we do it with the utmost respect. Our businesses have really been able to surpass the COVID days and are doing better, but there's still a lot that's lingering.
Esme Villarreal is the director of the Brownsville Chamber of Commerce. You're listening to a special edition of the Sergio Show, News Talk 710 KURV. We're at the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation Economic Development Office for Brownsville. These days, as you speak with local businesses, what would you say? Top 2, 3 issues? Anything? What is it? The drop off? Because we see a drop off in bridge traffic in McAllen Mission area, okay, but it has not translated into a drop in retail sales numbers. It's amazing. It's like bridge activity, crossings down 20-25%. It's like, wow. Okay, someone take a look at the retail numbers. Hey, look at that. It's up. It's up 3, 4, 5%. So is it crossing downtown business? Is it labor issues? What are some of the top issues that local businesses are expressing to you?
Quite frankly, the biggest challenge now is retention of talent. It is the land of the employee. We have the ability that we have a very talented workforce, and it's a very young, talented workforce in which they have the ability to choose from all kinds of jobs. So one of the biggest challenges that I hear day in, day out is how do we retain talent? How do we keep our people here? And this is when we come together with partners and we start strategizing about partnerships and with educational institutions. It's like, how do we tap into the interests of our young generation to keep them here in Brownsville, Texas? So our businesses are having a very hard time keeping their employees simply because it's really the land of opportunity, which is a great problem to have.
When you were saying retention of employees, I was thinking, well, they're leaving some gig here in the inner city. They're going to work at the port because we have thousands of openings. That's what you're referring to, actually talent flight from the market.
That is correct. In fact, it's a very diversified industry right now in Brownsville, Texas, with industry with aerospace, and now, of course, Industry Park, right, for aerospace through GPEC and BCIC, focusing on quality of life, supporting small businesses. There's really a lot happening in Brownsville, Texas. So when people say we can't find a job, you're just not looking at the right place.
Is there anything on your calendar, training, seminars? You got a summit, something like that you want folks to know about?
Well, the Brownsville itself, the Brownsville Chamber has a very aggressive program of work. We've been really focusing in the advocacy sector for the membership as a whole. So what we're doing now as an organization is really focusing on pillars that really are a benefit, not just when it comes down to Chamber University, which is something that we have internally. We do partnerships with all kinds of entities. So we can go ahead and create seminars of interest to the members that are actually relevant to the current need of the business community. So that's something that we've actually learned. We've also learned through recent times that, we can do everything and anything, but we cannot do it alone. And I say this because we have grown and evolved as an organization, partnering with so many others. I think that's important to showcase. We have BCIC doing strong seminars for small businesses. We have GBIG doing great platforms, bringing together high caliber industries also. So I do feel that, the chamber itself not only has a responsibility to its members, the chamber has a responsibility to the whole community. And we've really taken that to a whole different capacity by partnering with others that may have similar program of works, but we're also just joining efforts so that we can all come together and really help everyone at once.
And congratulations on I understand the more new aggressive effort to get in people's faces in Austin.
Yes, sir.
And also in Washington, D.C. And that's good. That's real good for people to see Brownsville in their offices in D.C. and say, you guys heard about Elon Musk? Yeah, he was around here a few weeks back. Yeah, his spaceport is, that's where we live. For them to realize where we are.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the biggest initiatives of the Brownsville Chamber is to bring back Brownsville Day at the Capitol. We had a very aggressive delegation, close to 70 individuals from all types of businesses, small, medium, and large, commissioned from the city of Brownsville, EDCs present, really targeting and talking to elected officials of what's important to Brownsville, Texas. In addition, we're hosting our very first Brownsville DC fly-in, a delegation of possibly 30 to 40 individuals. We have the great support of the City of Brownsville Commission, who is participating, and partners such as GBEC and others who will be supporting us. These initiatives are aggressive, contacting elected officials, having federal agencies hearing our story. We have priorities drafted, talking about all the needs that we have for Brownsville, Texas, its business community.
When is that? Brownsville and DC?
That's going to be September the 9th to the 11th.
Touch base with you again. Go ahead, Gilbert.
The Chamber's done a fantastic job of being a voice for that small business as far as advocacy. And talk about the narrative. 10, 15 years ago, the narrative was very different back then. Oh, we have these projects in the pipeline. We need money for this. We need money for that. We need help here. We've got people that don't have jobs. And today now we're still asking for help, but it's a different kind of help now. Yeah. And here are the projects that we have. And now we need more training. The Chamber University, great example of how they're helping upskill some of our local talent. And, part of some of the challenges that come out of success, hence the success of having some of these big employers come into town, is the smaller businesses end up losing some of their hard working people to some of these companies. And that's where the Chamber really comes in and helps with that. So it's very interesting how we were 10 years ago to where we're at today. And
it's a good problem to have, though, Gilbert.
It's correct. It's a good problem to have.
Because we reflected on this in the morning show, the transformation, the shifting of gears, where we used to be 30 years back, when I started here, unemployment through the roof, dependent on block grants, and now private sector money that is flooding the area. Investment and opportunity is still, the entities that were here before, but now the transformation of all these jobs are now the skill set. Oh, hurry up. Let's get our kids trained to meet the demand. Esme, thank you for stopping by. You call anytime. We'll get you back on the radio.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Esme Villarreal is the director of the Brownsville Chamber of Commerce. Gilbert Salinas, director of recruitment efforts for economic development, the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. The Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV times 1038. I need to go back to the mothership of Freddie, pay some bills. This hour made possible by Lone Star National Bank. Big thank you as well to South Texas Buick GMC.
An official message from Medicare.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
Could cost more than you think. Texas 811 is a free service that helps you avoid damaging underground utilities like electric or gas lines. Every year, accidents happen because someone didn't take a moment to contact 811. Whether installing a fence or working on a construction site, contacting Texas 811 is the law. It's quick, free, and keeps you safe. Visit texas811.org today for more information. Safe digging starts with one simple step. Make it today.
Come into Genesis of Harlingen today and soak up the feeling of the dynamic yet elegant design and cutting-edge
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eloquist.com or call 1-855-ELOQUIS.
In the Rio Grande Valley, 18-wheeler traffic is heavier than anywhere else in Texas. So if you're involved in an accident, know that big insurance companies will not play fair because they only care about profits, not your health, not the costs you have incurred, and certainly not your pain and suffering. So if you're involved in an 18-wheeler accident, we will stop insurance companies from taking advantage of you. 1-800-CAR-CATCH.
The J. Gonzalez Law Firm, a force for justice.
For victims of drunk or drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You'll always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. After meeting with both, President Trump says he's getting Russia's President Putin and Ukraine's President Zelensky together to talk about a peace deal.
We're going to find out about President Putin in the next couple of weeks, that I can tell you. And we're going to see where it all goes. It's possible that he doesn't want to make a deal.
The president this morning on Fox and Friends. Hurricane Aaron's driving dangerous wave to the East Coast. There are storm and high water warnings in North Carolina.
The winds are 110 miles an hour, and that is a high-end Cat 2. It may go back up to a Cat 3, but that doesn't matter. It's going to grow in size. The wind field is going to expand, and here on the coast of North Carolina, we could see waves breaking 15 to 20 feet. Already a mandatory evacuation here, and many beaches from Florida to Jersey and Long Island will be closed.
Fox Weather's Mike Seidel in Rodanthe, North Carolina. The storm won't actually make landfall. America's listening to Fox News.
Your 710 KURV AccuWeather forecast. This afternoon, mostly sunny, highs in the upper 90s to almost 105. Clear tonight, the low 77. Mostly sunny, an afternoon thunderstorm in spots Wednesday, the high 98. Mostly sunny, an afternoon thunderstorm in spots Thursday, too, the high of 100. Friday, sun mixing with clouds and a straight thunderstorm, highs in the mid and upper 90s. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV.
Time is 10:43. The Sergio Show, the Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. Also broadcasting at our free app. It's called Radio Para Mí. Radio Para Mí. Find it and listen to 710 KURV on smartphone. Thank you to Lone Star National Bank. Big thank you to South Texas Buick GMC for this special edition. We're on the road with the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. I have Giovanna Branquel. We've spoken with Giovanna before. I understand she's the director of space-related issues, energy-related issues. Jerry, to be honest, Jerry's right next to me. Jerry is the Senior Vice President for Economic Development at GBIC. Let's start with you, Jerry, since I finally got a chance to speak with you. Brownsville, born, Brownsville, raised, Brownsville boy, all the above, right? Tell me about your day-to-day at GBIC and some of the efforts that you're involved in.
So I, besides doing some of the, I guess, the operations part and I guess being Gilbert's number 2, which in itself is a lot, right? I also do a lot of the business recruitment. I help with the staff as far as onboarding, mentoring, training, setting up travel for them as well, and seeing just kind of the everyday operations of the office, as well as the business recruitment side, right? Taking inbound calls and doing a lot of travel.
You have been a witness to the economic transformation over the past several decades for Brownsville. I want to get your thoughts on what we were like just a few decades back and where we are today, which honestly, I would not have believed you if you had shown me a time machine 30 years back. But it's amazing times that we live in South Texas.
They are. So I remember being as a kid going out crabbing at Boca Chica and over there by Union Carbide. And now you go out there and it's like, wow, it's amazing. And you don't even have to go back 30 years. All you got to do is go back maybe 3 years. And you see the growth of SpaceX out there. You see, I mean, we go every month, more or less. And from one week to the next, it's just totally different. I mean, they're on, full speed ahead, no pun intended. But, it's great. And then aside from all of that, it's, we recently made 3 announcements, right? We've got Linde, which is a supplier of aerospace, and then we've got Amazon coming in, and then we also have a fabrication machining company as well. So things are looking very bright. I think they're going to look even brighter. So it looks great.
If you could put some bets on the table, what type of industry do you think we might see over the next 10 years? The expansion of industry in Brownsville.
I think you're going to see a lot of additive manufacturing, only because some of the industries that are moving in already, right? The LNGs, some of the companies that we have some NDAs with, or not NDAs, but just, we're working on trying to recruit as well. And then, SpaceX requires a lot of CNC machining, a lot of 3D printing, some of those things. So I think we're going to see a lot of that coming in, as well as, just more SpaceX related suppliers that they need to be close for the launches.
Yeah, because we'll have materials that need to be sent into space.
Absolutely.
Warehousing.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And I hope before the end of the hour, and I could keep talking about this all day long. 2 hours went by like this. I hope it here in the final break with Gilbert, talk about the expected multi-billion-dollar investment. I know we can't disclose, the NDAs and stuff, but we've been kicking the can down the road now for some major industry arrival at the port and in Brownsville. And we'll take a look at it just on the surface on potential employment creation and investment. That is Jerry Briones, Senior Vice President, Economic Development Efforts at the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. Let me pivot to Giovanna Ranquel. And last we spoke with you online. You were telling us about some of the SpaceX news. So what are you doing in helping to recruit industry that complements SpaceX, or what Elon Musk is doing? This branches off into so many propulsion systems, life systems, all these different types of industry that we could bring to the area because of our neighbor, Elon Musk.
Correct. Well, Sergio, thank you. Thank you for having me here again. So really, GBIG is working on building this cluster, right, for SpaceX. We keep talking about the recruitment efforts that Jerry and the rest of the team are doing to really support the growth for SpaceX. And part of it is bringing those suppliers. We have 2 tier 1 suppliers for SpaceX coming in, supporting what SpaceX is doing. What the future looks like is more of that, right? More support for the growth that's happening, more support for the workforce, right? The housing issues. So that's really what I'm focusing on currently, is supporting what SpaceX needs, what LNG needs in terms of really everything. We keep talking about, kind of what that effect has for Brownsville. And of course, we have more capital investment coming. In itself, we have Concrete 57, who just currently expanded to Cameron County because of SpaceX, right? They have a $7.2 million capital investment. That's huge,
wow.
Right? And that's just Concrete 57.
Yeah.
Aside from what Linda is already doing for SpaceX. So that's really what we're working on, just continuing on those efforts, supporting what's coming and being prepared for the space industry and even more.
I didn't know that the folks who made ketchup also made Concrete 57. That's pretty amazing. Hey, how does it all go down? Do you get a call from the chief at SpaceX and said, we need this, we need that, can you help us out, and go find it? You're the gopher. Or do you see what's evolving, say, you know what, we're going to offer this and try to steer it in their direction over it?
It's really a combination of everything you just mentioned, right?
Okay.
This is a team effort. This is a GBEC effort. We have multiple things happening at once, multiple projects, right? Jerry and Gilberto are constantly traveling to make sure that, we're being able to support what SpaceX is needing, what LNG is needing, and really Brownsville is needing, right? Because yes, those are the biggest projects we have, but there's more coming.
I've had several folks who have commented that Hawthorne, well, I don't know if they will have much of an HQ for SpaceX. It's like Brownsville, we are becoming HQ for SpaceX. That's the goal, right? That we have the capacity, to absorb all these folks and bring them in and expand operations here, because that's his land.
Definitely.
Yeah. How many more employees do you think? Thank you, Freddie. How many more? We'll close with this for this segment. How many more people do you think SpaceX might be hiring over the next decade? We're at what, 3 now? 4?
They're at 4,200.
10,000 maybe? Because
I would say, maybe double by next year.
okay.
They're building.
Is there
a
anything
city,
we need to
right?
do infrastructure-wise at city, county, roads? Oh, no, they're trying to work on the highway to get. They really hurry up, fix that highway over
That's
to Boca
definitely
Chica.
a win, right?
Yeah.
Being able to ensure that gets amplified for the amount of traffic that's coming through. There's more to come, but yeah, again, going back to SpaceX, they're growing. They're trying to build a city, and we're just here to support in that way. Whether it's workforce, whether it's infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
We're constantly trying to figure out what the best route is to be able to support that growth.
We wish you great success. Anything on your calendar we need to follow up on near future? Call you back on, I don't know, seminar, conference, powwow with leadership in DC, something so we can get you back in the program.
We're actually trying to figure out what the next move is in terms of the space, but I forgot to mention, just recently we were at the Space Foundation Innovate Space Summit at the Amazon HQ in Arlington. And so that was an incredible event that we were able to attend, bring back, all the numbers that they provide in a yearly basis. So we are looking to attend something in the space-related efforts as well. I know Jerry has gone to the Space Summit as well. So if we do, I'll let you know.
All right, good. We'll follow up on that. And I ask also in part for my buddy Ron Whitlock, who's over here on behalf of a Redcoat, a Brit, Steve Taylor, and the Rio Grande Guardian. We appreciate Steve and Ron because they concentrate on news that matters, which is business news and publishing that. So God bless you guys for being here today. And that is Giovanna Rangel, Director of Space and Energy Issues for GBIC, Jerry Briones, Senior Vice President, Economic Development for the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation, the Sergio Show, News Talk 710 KURV, time is 10:53. This hour made possible by South Texas Buick GMC and Lone Star National Bank.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
Answered all our questions. Huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
5 Eliquis.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
Got about 4 minutes left in the broadcast, so we'll get right to it. I'm Sergio Sanchez at the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. Nothing gets done at this office in economic development efforts. Heck, we wouldn't even have Elon Musk in town if Gilbert's job wasn't made a lot easier thanks to Marcela. Right? That's true. No, I'm kidding about the whole SpaceX thing. Marcela Sanchez. Tell me your day-to-day over at GBIC, Marcela. Come up to the microphone.
Hi, Sergio. Good morning. So my day-to-day, I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications for GBIC. So we do so many things to market our community and at different levels. We do some community engagement because we want our community to be informed of what is it that GBIC does and how we're a resource for them. But we also help on the recruitment side with different marketing strategies. We're building a new website that will be ready to launch very soon. And also as well, big part of the industry are site selectors and decision makers. And so we also work on different strategies to market Brownsville to them.
Brownsville, Texas, our city named number 2 in the nation, most affordable for manufacturing. Back to Jerry Briones. Site selectors, how often do they visit this area? And you have to dine them, wine them, and tour the area. Say, hey, we got all this land over here. We got all this land over here. We can train them at this college, all those things. How often do they visit?
Well, they do, and a lot of times it's at our invitation, like you just said. We try to get them down here at least maybe twice a year. The other end to that is that we also attend a lot of conferences and site selector summits where we go to them, and those are sometimes hosted by the state, from Texas Economic Development Council and Corporation. There's 2 distinct ones, and Team Texas also does a great job of. In fact, the next couple of weeks, we've got a couple of our colleagues that are going to a Team Texas Consultant Summit. So we try to hit all the different areas, and we try to be everywhere all the time, but we can't always be that way.
How helpful is the state of Texas, the governor's office, in the economic development recruitment efforts?
Actually, they're a very important part of what we do. We receive monthly RFIs, requests for information, right, from different projects, and we receive anywhere from 8 to 12 different projects, RFIs per month. And we go through them and try to see, okay, which is a good fit, which is not a good fit. And then we go back with a response. So it is a very important network. We also, collaborate with them on incentives if it's a rather large project, which like SpaceX and some of the other LNGs. So it's a team effort, definitely.
I got about a minute left. Website, social media, where people find more information for the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. Marcela Sanchez, Director of Marketing.
Absolutely. So I think for our community, we highly suggest that they follow us on social media.
Yeah.
Same handle for everything, Greater Brownsville. And we're continuously posting. Just today, we're ready to announce Superior as well. So later on today, there will be a new news release coming up.
Yeah, and we got an industrial park, right, being developed as well.
We do. We have 730 acres. We're into phase 1, which is 86 acres. We're well into that right now, cleaning up, doing some roads, and we're getting ready to start on some of the infrastructure.
Continued success. Your success is the success of our kids and businesses and families in the area. From the Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation, this is the Sergio Show. Big thank you to Lone Star National Bank. Big thank you to South Texas Buick GMC. This is KURV Edinburgh. It's 11 o'clock.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports. And all the local news to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports. And all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download